Bold, daring, unpredictable. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. Friday at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time on NBC.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. If you're here at Word Balloon, it's because you like comics, creators, conversation, pop culture subjects. Would you consider joining the League of Word Balloon Listeners? Patreon.com/wordballoon. For just $3 a month or more, you'll get exclusive access to the Word Balloon e-magazine, featuring transcriptions of some of my best conversations. When you subscribe, you'll also be part of the Word Balloon Book Club, where Brian Michael Bendis and I will pick a comic every month to review and discuss live with the League on this show. Join the League today, patreon.com/wordballoon. Thank you always for your support, League of Word Balloon listeners. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Time again for another Word Balloon, an edition of Scene Missing, but I've got my Trek Watch partners with me because we're going to be talking about a superhero movie, and I know Gabe Hardwood would be like, I don't want to talk about a superhero movie. So don't worry about it, Gabe. I got everything covered. We're going to talk today about the Captain America film that Cannon released in 1990, and it was unfortunately re-edited under the director's, from under his feet, and taken away from him and made in a very schlocky way. The director's cut is now out there. There's a website. I will show the link on the bottom, and also it's in the comments as well, I believe. Yes, I have put it on the comments. It's yippee-ki-yay mothervideo.com/products/Captain America well, that's the standard. Is that was that?
Yeah, no, it's because they had a collector's edition that had a whole other bunch of like goodies with it.
Got it.
Tchotchkes and that. If you like to use the word tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes. Man, I'm not inviting you to any Hanukkah celebrations around my neighborhood, man.
No, so it just had like a lot of little doodads in it. So no, it's the same. Okay. It's exactly the same video that you would get.
Okay, cool. But Wayne is here, Mitch is here, I am here. And guys, I got to tell you, I know it's an 80s movie and it absolutely stinks of 80s. I thought this was a shit ton of fun.
Well, technically 90.
Yeah, 1990. But yeah, but they made it in 89, Mitch, or whatever, Or maybe even earlier. Sometimes those low-budget movies, it takes a couple of years before they're released. But, and that music reminded me of the Remo Williams when it would do the techno stuff. And everything. Remember, like when Reno's running on the beach. I mean, that's the thing. Like this smacks of low budget 80s action canon. Wayne is ready with DVD covers of infamous movies in that period as well. Roger Corman, Fantastic Four, Dolph Lundgren, Punisher. Throw them up there, Wayne. What else have you got here? I'll solo in on Wayne.
Okay. 1 minute. Hey. Oh, first we got The Spirit.
Sure, a little later, but still, or actually, no,
later.
Well, it was a little later.
TV movie.
Yeah, but it was
a movie.
Yeah, great, but fun movie with our friend and visitor.
Oh, this was a fun movie.
Sam Jones.
Yes, of course.
People should give this another look because.
Well, same for the audio audience. So, Wayne, what you're holding up, buddy?
All right. And then if you don't have that, you should. That was the Fantastic Four, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, and then. There's a documentary called Doomed.
Yeah.
It's like a double bill.
Yeah.
And I think you can watch Doomed on Tubi.
Yes, you can. Correct.
So definitely watch that because then you find out the reason why they made the Roger Corman movie.
Indeed. With Film
We-
Threats, Chris Gore making the documentary Doom.
Right.
He's the man responsible for that.
We also have the first Punisher movie by Dolph Lundgren, which
directed
I
that,
saw
Wayne?
in the theater
Okay.
way
Who directed
back.
that? Who directed
Who
that?
directed it?
Yeah. I'm
Should
looking
be on the
at
back,
it.
no?
Steven
Should be on the back of the
Spielberg.
cover.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg. No, it's Martin Goldberg.
Martin Goldberg.
Oh.
Close.
That
Goldblatt.
Martin
Goldblatt?
Goldberg.
Man.
He made-
Wayne's
These,
getting every
these
Jewish
fonts are
reference even
horrible.
off the air wrong. I just want to point that out, which is fantastic.
Is it Goldblatt?
All right.
I don't know.
Anyways,
All right.
that's
We're giving him more.
and-
We're giving him more love than he's gotten in the last 50 years, so it's fine.
and the classic
Yes.
Doctor Strange on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
With Peter Horton as Doctor Strange, Jessica Walter as Morgana Le Fay. This,
Yeah.
I think, this is better than Benedict Cumberbatch's performance of
Cumberbatch.
Doctor Strange. Yes, I will stand by this.
I have that sucker.
Oops. Darn it.
Oh, sorry. Last one is the double bill of the Reb Brown Captain America movies.
Another,
So-
yeah.
that's just
a lot
the
of terrific
classic
on, vets
what?
there,
None of the Hulk movies? Come on.
I
man.
have
None
the
of
Hulk movies that they're in my Hulk collection.
Wow.
Trial of the Hulk. Death of the
And-
Hulk.
Spider-Man Goes to Japan with Nicholas Hammond. That was released as a
Yeah.
theatrical
That's
release.
right.
somewhere.
Mark Miller saw it in the theater because in Scotland it ran as a movie.
See?
He's like, I thought for
See?
sure it was a real movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. All right, but honestly, initial thoughts of the director's cut of this movie. Mitch, I know you're a big Cap fan, and I know you've seen the original years and years ago. Not only that, you have the poster, right?
I do. I actually I was going to go dig it up, but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go there.
Don't
But
make
yeah,
it
I have the original poster. It's 21st Century Films, isn't it? Is that the name of the distribution? Yeah.
maybe it was
And,
it was canon because the producer is Menachem Golem.
I just remember getting the movie poster, and it was a blue, and it had the shield, and it said
Mhm.
Captain America coming summer of 1990. That's why I was like, I think it was supposed to be in the 90s. It never came out in the theaters, though, even though I had the poster. I remember seeing it years later on VHS, not even DVD. This is back in like
sure.
93 or something. And there was a Marvel comic adaptation, which is really odd. They put that out, and it's not so bad. But the thing of it is, this movie has Matt Salinger, son of J.D. Salinger, famous Catcher in the Rye author, Frankie and Zoe, some other stuff too. But the other thing is, it's got people that you would know. It's got Billy Mumy. It's got Ned Beatty. It's got Darren McGavin. It's got Scott Paulin, who you don't know really, but he was in The Right Stuff, and he had some other movies there. He plays the Red Skull. We've also got
Ronny
Michael.
Cox.
Is it Ronny Cox? Michael.
Go ahead.
Right, well, you know him because he's from Commander Jericho or Jelenic.
Well,
What was his
Captain
name?
Jellicoe, but also
Jellicoe,
the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I mean,
RoboCop.
RoboCop,
Yeah, it was, Dick Jones.
Total Recall.
Oh yeah, he was the Thing, but he's still around. He's not passed away, but he's a
great
big guy. Yeah,
he's great. Well, honestly, and I'm sorry I stepped on you, Michael Nouri. You were going to say as well.
yeah, Michael Nouri, who I remember the name, I recognize the face, but I could not for the life of me. I think it was like Flashdance. Was that his big movie?
Well, maybe, but on TV, and maybe I'm wrong. Wayne, there was a TV show called Cliffhanger, and I thought
Yes.
Michael
Oh,
Nouri.
yeah.
Who's the vampire?
Yeah, he played Dracula in that. Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. I
Yeah.
remember Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I love that
Among other, I mean, great. He had a great 5 minutes.
No,
on
but
the
he
West
was in
Wing
the
as a guest
movies,
star.
though.
Yeah,
I
he-
got
he
you.
remember
definitely
him
was.
in an
Oh no,
80s
big,
movie
big,
thing.
yeah, big in the 70s and 80s, absolutely. No, and that's the
Yeah,
fun
but
of
that's
the movie.
so. Yeah, so Darren McGavin, some of these people, I was wondering if they did it like on a day off or if they knew they had a favor. So the director of this movie, some backstories, this guy named Albert Pune, Pyun. He directed one of my other favorite movies from the 80s with Lee Horsley and Kathleen Beller, the girl that used to be on Dynasty or something, I think it was. It was called The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Was it Catherine Oxenberg?
Catherine Beller? No. There was
Not
Beller.
the
She had
British
long,
chick?
dark
I think
hair.
Oh, okay.
Very pretty girl, very
Okay.
voluptuous, if you know what I mean. And Lee Horsley starred in this movie called The Sword and the Sorcerer. And Albert Pune did a lot of these, like you just said, these canon movies. He was like the go-to guy. I
Sure.
think he did some of those Chuck Norris movies. I might be wrong about that, but he was that
Could have.
down and dirty,
You gonna look him
get
up?
him out quick.
You
Yeah,
gonna look him up, Wayne?
Yeah, it is Kathleen Beller.
And look up his
It is
look up the
Kathleen Beller.
director's credits beyond this movie, if you don't mind.
But
Wayne
the
is
thing
our
about
own
this
movie.
movie is, it was Captain America. It was a big screen movie. It was amazing that they're going to do such a thing, because the only one previous was the 2 Red Brown movies that Wayne just showed. So there's a lot of high hopes for it. Unfortunately, the movie I saw, it's been around for decades, it's not very good. I mean,
No.
the Red Skull's Italian. Captain America's a man at a time. The action is really kind of but the thing you're talking about tonight is the director's cut that came out from Albert Pune before he passed away, and now you could buy it on that link that you sent there. I think his wife is getting the monies for this somehow. She's got access to it, and they did a director's cut, and she's allowed to sell it. I don't know how this all works, but this version that we just watched, that we're going to talk about, is much better, believe it or not. I mean, it's not great to begin with, but it's, how do you put it? It's better than bad. It's better than the one they put in the theaters.
It's fun.
30 years ago.
I mean, honestly, this is what you guys tell me when you like a Star Trek episode that I know, and you're like, it's fun. And I get it for this thing, because I really, honestly, Mitch, I get what you're saying, and I agree. It is kind of weird that the Red Skull is Italian. My assumption is they were getting Italian money to fund it, and that's why there was so much in Italian stuff in it, and shooting in Italy and everything. But also, so I accept it in the same way that the old 40s Cap serial is completely different from Timely, and it's Grant type Grant something. Yeah, Dick Purcell's the actor, but I was trying to think, instead of Steve Rogers, he's Grant Gardner, I think.
Yeah.
He's on the motorcycle and everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of take this on its own merit. And also, Wayne subjected himself to both the director's cut and the original cut. So I'll let Wayne kind of contrast. But from what I remember, I honestly liked this Red Skull. And believe me, the whole backstory is very cheesy and everything. But he is a more sympathetic, he's still a villain and still does terrible cold-blooded things. But they almost try to explain, and I kind of like his difference from Johann Schmidt and what we know about traditional Marvel Red Skull, or Red Skull as he's called in the movies. But Wayne, like as far as the Red Skull goes, tell us what and in general, what did you think of the movie now that you watch both?
It all depends, because I don't think the extra 10 minutes make that much of a difference overall, but it depends on your what style of movie that you like. Do you like something linear or something that's non-linear, that's like Memento? Because the director's cut is a lot like Memento, where you're more or less, you're building up the character's backstory through flashbacks, where the original movie is very linear, start to finish. We start in the 40s, we end in the 80s or 90s, and whatever it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I think they're equal in their own way. I like schlock, and this, either one is good. If you can get, like, you got to remember, at the time we were starving for anything. So if you could get a superhero movie out there, we could forgive a lot of the stuff. Yeah. And my biggest thing is that they embrace the Nazi aspect of it, because we saw the swastikas all in the background in that, but the Red Skull had to be Italian. So I think that was the biggest thing. And the fact that I think the actor didn't want to wear the red makeup, but wore that other really,
the rubber mask
face. Looked like Jigsaw from The Punisher.
Yeah. So it's just like, if you're going to do your face like that, why don't you keep the red skull mask?
But you can buy that it is the Mussolini arm of Italy and the Italians before they surrendered. So you can buy that the project began there. And I was okay with the guy wearing like the El Duce cap, and I don't know if that's the only guy I ever saw wearing it was Mussolini. So it's pretty funny when the Italian Colonel Klink shows up and he's got the hat on there.
Like all the soldiers are all wearing the German helmets.
Yeah. Yes. Like, when they storm Giuseppe's house or whatever.
It's just hilarious. It's it's a low budget film, so you're going to give it a lot of leeway.
Yeah,
because you got to. If it's low budget, they're doing their best with what they have.
Absolutely. And also I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, go ahead, John.
I just liked a lot of the choices. They kind of made the Red Skull like modern day Luther, where he went from maniacal World War II. Well, he wasn't. I guess he was. And also, they don't explain. I guess there were years from when the Red Skull got the treatment. Because and I like that it's kind of a combination of like Lex Luthor today, that he's kind of a modern industrialist that has his fingers in government and conspiratorial pies and everything. But also, I like that he was subjected to the rays as well, so he could fight Captain America. It reminded me of that Mark DeMatteis Cap 300, and what led up to it, and that the Red Skull, cloned a new body, and it was basically a copy of Cap's body and everything. So he was as strong as Cap. So as ridiculous as the fights were, by the way, I love that everybody in the climax, everybody's punching. The president's punching. Sharon Carter is punching. Everybody's punching and succeeding.
You know what the thing of it is, as far as it's a comic book story, and like Wayne said, we were hard up for comic book movies. It reads like a comic book. I mean, this script, there's a scene in there where the Red Skull tells this gardener, because he's under some mind control. He's like, "Oh, trim the shrubs over there. Oh, no, by the way, take the shears and cut your son's head off." And the guy just says, "You got it, boss." And he just do it. And they don't show it because it's PG back then or whatever it was called. And you just see the blood all over the guy in the next scene, like a total trauma film, like schlocky stuff. And you see Darren McGavin kind of wincing. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Night Stalker fan. I've always loved Darren McGavin. I don't know what was going on in this guy's life at this period of time, because he also did another horrendously bad movie with Joe Piscopo. And it was about zombies coming again, back from right? I don't know what it was. And I remember
was it Dead Heat?
Dead Heat. He was the bad guy in that movie. And it's Darren McGavin, and they're closing in on him. And he goes, "Oh, no, you won't get me." And he takes an Uzi and he puts it in his mouth, and he, machine guns, he kills himself. But the thing is, I was watching it and I go, I don't even know if he's acting, because he comes in here, he's doing a Southern accent. He's like, "Oh, Mr. President, I wouldn't be doing that if I was you now." And I'm like watching going, why did he choose to be a Southern colonel? And then in the next scene, he's not in his outfit. He's sitting with the Red Skull. I don't even think he had the accent anymore. And I'm like, wait, what happened there?
Well, I think if you're asking why did he take the gig and why was he making so much
money?
Well, not only the money, but also to maintain his Screen Actors Guild insurance. A lot of the actors in their twilight. That's why Gene Hackman made a lot of crap for the last 40 years of his life.
You say that, and it's funny because I remember when everybody loves The Christmas Story. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. When it came out, I remember that wasn't a big budget studio movie. It was out and it was okay, and it didn't even do well, if I recall. But everybody's like, "Oh, it's a classic." I go, I don't think it was. And Darren McGavin was in that, and so's Melinda Dillon, who's also in this movie. Who she has a small part as the girl's mom.
Oh, she's Bernie before.
She's Bernie's mom in World War II. She's like baking cakes or something real quick. And I go, for a brief moment, think about it. You've got the mom and dad from A Christmas Story in this movie. And I'm thinking maybe they all lived together, not lived together, but neighborhood. They were friends with each other, because you got Ned Beatty in this thing. Ned Beatty was a pretty big deal.
Oh, sure.
I mean, maybe not at that point, but again,
no, he was still
these are big name people. Ronny Cox was working. I mean,
but also Cannon really in the late 80s made a serious effort to make air quotes big budget movies and could attract A-list actors to be in minor roles and things, and even major roles sometimes. Really watch that Cannon documentary, both the one that the Golems made and also the one about them. that it's a little more honest. But they're fun. They're fun documentaries. And no, man, they really were. They were spending their money and starting to try to make important movies. But they unfortunately they still suck.
Now, Cannon was the people that made Quest for Peace, right? And then they took the money from that and poured it towards He-Man, Masters of the Universe. That's why the Superman 4 suffered, because he didn't have the same budget. That's the same group. Now, I do believe they had the rights to Spider-Man at that time, and James Cameron was attached. And the reason why I say that is because my neighbor, he's moved away, but I remember years ago, he was into comics too. He'd come to the movies. He'd go to Terrificon. He was telling me that he worked as an assistant in Manhattan at the Cannon studio, and they were doing open auditions for a Spider-Man movie in the late 80s. And he was telling me who was coming in to audition for it. I remember him telling me that John Ritter came in to audition for Peter Parker. And they were like, well, you're just too old. And I was thinking at the time, geez, John Ritter in the late 80s was still a big name.
Sure.
He's coming in for this. And they said they even had, I swear, I think he said, was it Morgan Freeman? It was some other actor that you were like, why would he be? But he auditioned as well. They had a lot of famous people, like you said, would come to the door because maybe they had money. They were throwing it around. And, Christopher Reeve, I mean, he wasn't a big star, but he ponied up and did Superman.
I think he was
Gene Hackman was in that. I mean, think about it. Number 4 sucks, but you had Margot Kidder back, Jackie Cooper. You had the whole cast.
Yes.
And, they all got paid. You know?
No, absolutely, man. And again, I would say that Reeve, if you look at his IMDb back then, no, he was active. He was still making other movies beyond Superman and stuff. So, those comedies and some of the other dramatic movies that he made.
He wasn't at the top of his game at that point, though. I mean, he was.
Was there ever a top of? I mean, honestly, respectfully, from an A-list standpoint, was there
in
ever
the early '80s when he was doing Death Trap and Superman 2? He was like, he had the name, but again, he did a lot of those cheesy World War II movies. And what was it, Street or something with Morgan Freeman? That was like got him some street cred. He was like a reporter,
Street Smart or whatever. Yeah,
Street Smart. Like but he was doing TV movies too. I remember his son talks about it in that documentary. He said, "Hey, at that point, Dad was doing, anything to get some money, So
again, actors got to work. I mean, they can only spend the money from the A-list movies so far. So I don't blame them for that. But no, this was fun, and I liked the pacing of the flashbacks. I think, as you said, Wayne, I think it really informed the character better. It's been years since I've seen the original cut. I will admit that.
No,
I was entertained by this. I was not bored ever. There was a couple little laggy parts. We don't need to see Steve Rogers when he knows he has to get a job working at Gold's Gym and vacuuming the floor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking of Howard. I was thinking of Howard the Duck working in the sex club when he was like mopping the floors in the buddy booths there. I was like, oh Jesus, man, come on, Steve Rogers. But you got to give it credit, though, because here's a big budget Marvel movie that came out a couple years ago, Chris Evans, and the man at a time, and he's fighting, Hydra and all that stuff. But early 90s, they didn't have the big Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're kind of like, it's kind of sweet in a way. It's like, here's a guy from World War II. He wasn't the Captain America. He was only on one mission, and really nobody knew about it except this old colonel who's got Alzheimer's or something, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And
I love that. That's a great scene.
He can't get work. I mean, he's working. I mean,
well, he's
woke up 40 years later. Or 50
I'm sure there's no records of him after he went missing. So he's got to take whatever he can. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of cliches. Some modern audiences might have rolled their eyes at Sharon. I'm going to call her Carter, even though I forget what her name was.
No, it's not Sharon Carter. That's why I was like,
I understand, but they called her Sharon, and she was blind.
Yeah.
And but I mean, and it was hilarious. It went from, oh my God, this stranger's attacking me, to he's cute.
Well, she's not the best actress. I don't know who she is or whatever happened to her, but there's some moments when she comes in. Spoiler alert: she finds someone dead. And I mean, Jesus God, we could put a wig on right now, and me and Wayne could act out better. And you might like Michael Nure's character.
I did.
But I'm sorry, that makeup he had on, it reminded me of False Face from the Batman 66, because it didn't move with his skin. It's almost like they put it on too thick. And
It reminded me of Aykroyd in that haunted house movie with everybody.
Oh God, I hate that
Demi
movie.
Moore, Chevy Chase. Terrible movie.
Nothing but trouble.
There you go.
That's the worst movie, one of my worst movies ever. I saw that with my dad. I almost wanted to vomit in that movie.
Yeah,
it was so
but and Michael Nuri's dialogue was clunky, but
he was clunky in that scene.
Yeah, but honestly, you're giving shit. What are you gonna do? Forgive me, everybody. I'm swearing more than I normally do, but I know. Sorry, I apologize.
Well, no, the thing of it is, I wondered
I thought he did good.
I wondered about that performance too. I really did. I thought about the fact that I'm thinking about these things on a crappy movie is amazing.
Because I'm making you do it.
I'm watching it going, he's doing line delivery, but could you have salvaged that scene if it was cut or filmed better? And I'm thinking maybe if it was lit better and the makeup was a little nicer. There's no difference between him and Haley Atwell in the Captain America Winter Soldier,
100%.
who's also got like
100%.
dementia going on, and she's like, "Oh, Captain America," and she remembers him, and then she quickly forgets like who he is and why Steve Rogers alive. That's in a lot of the parallel stuff's going on. I go, "Hey man, they ripped that off. They use that again in this movie. What's going on here?"
Even when he's being bombarded by the rays that turn him into Captain America, it's a small budget, but it works.
Yeah, a lot of quick cuts, a lot of flashing,
Yeah, the only thing I would say is maybe some lead shielding for everybody else so they're not bombarded by those same rays. It seemed like everybody was out.
I do like how Bill Mummy is. I'd love to talk to Bill Mummy about this because he's such a nerdy guy. He's into comics and stuff. Actually wrote a comic too. But the thing of it is, he plays, I think, Colonel Kirby, because I heard the name Kirby.
I think he's the same. I think he's Darren McGavin's character as a young man. That was
that's who he's supposed to be?
He is Darren McGavin.
I never put that together. Yeah. No way. Really?
No, I understand.
That was supposed to be him as
Senator Kirby.
Say it again, Wayne.
It's Senator Kirby.
Kirby.
That's part of the little group that's watching the.
All right, so then it's a different character than.
It's a different character.
Oh no! Sorry. No, Billy Mummy is the young Darren McGavin.
He is. Okay, so there you go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
really?
he's the one. He's the one that brought in the Nazi saboteur.
Well, further, when near the climax of the movie, when McGavin is standing there, he flashes back to, and I forget the scene, but it's Billy Mummy. Doing something. I don't remember right
Jesus,
now.
Sadly,
he's
watched this
Cap.
movie.
Visiting Cap in the hospital.
Right.
It's the flashback scene.
Yes, I never put that together.
Yes. I mean, that's right. It was after, because Steve gets shot when they kill the Italian Dr. Erskine, whoever.
You know what? You're right. Because when Steve Rogers gets up after the shooting at the lab, and he's like, "I'm going to go on that mission." Okay, sir, and they're doing it. Mm-hmm. You watch Bill Mummy, and for some reason, Bill Mummy like scratches his head like this. Like, I can't believe this is. I don't know what the thinking was behind that motion, but now that I know it's Darren McGavin, it explains it, because Darren McGavin in the future, the present day version of it, he scratches his head at one point, and I'm thinking, what direction was this? So somebody off camera like, scratch your head. You're the same guy. That'll be the tell. The audience will know. Except Mitch Halleck, who never figured it out until Wayne just told him. I was like, wait, that was the same guy? And I've watched this movie like 5 times, and I never saw it once.
Am I wrong? But in the original version, they don't kill off. Sorry, spoilers, kids. Ned Beatty. Am I right? Don't they?
No, I don't remember him dying.
Get together.
Yeah. No, I don't remember.
And they're like they're as adult men, aren't they, like on a rooftop, kind of showing each other the Cap stuff that we the photograph that the president took when he was a kid.
The original movie has it's like you said, it's linear. It shows the Red Skull firing the rocket. It's headed towards the White House in Washington, D.C., and then Cap kicks the rudder and it takes it off course to Alaska. How the hell we don't know. But the little kid is out there and he sees all that stuff.
Right.
But there was like a newspaper headline, like, kid sees. I just remember him telling Ned Beatty earlier on that was the guy that he saw that night come overhead, and the rocket ship, and it was Captain America and all this. I'm like, okay, that's a stretch.
As adults, not just the kid scene, but also that's what I remember too. and that's why it was like, wait a minute.
I don't remember Ned Beatty dying in the first one. Either.
No, well, and even this one, he might have just had cardiac arrest, and you see them putting, the oxygen on him. So maybe he
we don't. Yeah, and because I don't even remember him giving the Captain Midnight decoder ring.
See, I didn't remember that either.
In the original,
Ronny Cox had it.
Correct. That's what I remember.
It wasn't like
I don't remember in the that he gave that Captain America gave it to Ronny Cox at the castle. Because I just watched it I watched it a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
And
fresh in your memory.
Yeah. It's the actress that played Sharon, she did a lot of TV series.
Well, whatever.
Oh, she did? Now what about the girl that played Sin, the Red Skull's daughter?
All right, 1 minute.
For what she had to work with, she was pretty good actually, I thought.
I'm telling you, not hard to look at. It's this staging, really, because, there's action sequences and there's a way to film action sequences. Yeah. George Lucas actually sucks at filming action sequences. If you want to go big names, you go back and you watch American Graffiti and the first Star Wars fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. He doesn't pull back to let you see the actors or maybe the stunt people. He gets in really close, and that's not the way to do fights or anything like that, because you'll see... In American Graffiti, John Milner, that's Paul Amat, he gets in a fight. They steal Ronnie Howard's car, and it's like handheld in the fight, and it's moving. So you really don't get a good idea of what's going on in the location. He does it in Star Wars, and in this movie here, when they're at that castle at the end, and Cap's fighting the guy, and they're throwing the shield and all that stuff. But when the Red Skull's daughter's running and Sharon Carter, I'm like, wait a minute, you could have filmed this much more exciting if you did some quick cuts and, some faraway shots so we could see where the actors are going and the stunt people, whoever the hell was doing the thing. You really need a stunt coordinator. You don't realize how important these guys are until you watch a bad movie. Then you watch like Raiders Lost Ark and you go, oh my God, look how amazing the stunts are. But it's the same stuff on a piece of paper. If you don't have a guy just, doing the right camera angles, it's going to look like crap,
Money, budget.
King Solomon's Mines with Richard Chamberlain probably has the same amount of action that Raiders Lost Ark does, but one's a piece of crap and one's a classic movie. And they're all
you gotta love King Solomon.
They're all far-fetched.
By the way, thank you for reminding me, because I intend to make a bunch of shorts of action heroes from the 70s and 50s and 60s that were neglected, or nerd stars. And Richard Chamberlain, absolutely. I'm all set with Patrick Wayne. I'm all set with Robert Culp and Doug McClure, but I will add Richard Chamberlain to the mix.
No, Richard Chamberlain, the king of the miniseries. That's what he was. Shogun.
Well, but also, no. And you're absolutely right about that. But the Two Musketeer movies, Logan's Run, Dr. Moreau. That's my thing. Is like, I just need 4.
Wait a minute. Logan's Run? Richard Chamberlain's not in.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's no. That's
Michael York.
I'm sorry. I'm conflating. And also Dr. Moreau as well. But no, so Chamberlain is in the Two Musketeer movies as well.
Yeah.
And you're right. And also he's in those miniseries. He's the original Jason Bourne. Bourne Identity. They made a miniseries of it in the 80s.
They did a TV movie.
My sister had the book and saw the miniseries. And when the Damon movie came out, she's like, this is a remake. And then she's like, I'm telling you. She goes, Richard Chamberlain and Jacqueline Smith were in the original Bourne Identity.
Jacqueline Smith was great.
Yep. I'm like, okay, and again, he was an older character in the book and everything. So, but I'll get my thing right, because there's.
Did you mention Doug McClure in your list there?
Of course I did.
You did. Okay, good. Because he was in all those movies. They're on Netflix or not Amazon
and Tubi.
Well, during the Halloween, they had them all there, but it was like The Land of Time Forgot, The Day of the Locust. It's like Food of the Gods. What are these movies? And There's one, I think it's a Michael Crichton thing. It's about pirates. And there's like an island that these pirates are living on, and it's modern day. And I could swear.
Is that the Patrick Wayne one? It's because they go over.
Is it called The Island?
Well, it's kind of like Lost Horizon, where you clear these mountains and then you find this valley and all the pirates. Yeah, and I think that's Patrick Wayne.
But I swear it was.
And maybe Doug's in it as well. And
it might be
one of them. One of Benchley. What's that about Peter Benchley?
I think it was Peter Benchley, because I remember it's Jaws, The Deep.
Okay.
And then there was this other movie, and I keep thinking it's called The Island. And I'm like, wait, is this the...
When you
it was
say
a 70s thing.
I think of the modern version with Scarlett Johansson and
Oh, Ewan McGregor.
DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was McGregor.
Wasn't DiCaprio the island?
No, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, this one was about a cloning thing. It was a Michael Bay movie. It was a lot of explosions. That's the one we're talking about. But
but there is it either stars Patrick Wayne and Doug McClure makes a cameo in it, kind of like Heston in Beneath the Planet of the Apes, or it's the other way around, that it's a Doug McClure movie and Patrick Wayne makes the cameo. But I
remember it was controversial because there was a horse in the movie that dies. And it's on camera. Like they kill the horse, like they shot it or something. No, it was a monkey. Some animal died in the movie and they left it in the movie and people were like, what in the hell? And that's why that weird credit you'll see, like no animals were harmed in the production. Yeah. No, in that one, they were like, yeah, we killed that thing. Just keep going. Keep it going.
Speaking of which, how about the mutated rat before they bombard the rat?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's some great rubber monster.
That looks like the rat from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, just with some blood on
it. The Island has Michael Caine and David Warner.
Bloody Michael Caine.
David Warner's a great one. He's a great guy.
I've added a new piece of dialogue to my Michael Caine thing because I was watching a British game show and a Cockney woman said, I play a lot of video games. Oh, well, you must be very good. And she goes, a dialogue. So that's my new Michael Caine one-line thing, a dialogue. So,
like Sean Bean.
He laughed. It's cool. I'll take it.
No, all I can think of is Michael Caine and Blame It on Rio, which has nothing to do with Captain America whatsoever. But
no, and I realize, and it's okay. We'll get back to it. But Michael Caine made a lot of garbage.
He's made a lot of garbage
from the '70s to until he got Hannah and Her Sisters, and he was A-list again.
Jaws 4.
Exactly.
Like you guys said,
go ahead.
Like you guys said, the director's cut. What makes it really more superior than the original is it's the non-linear format to give the characters a background, a feeling, an understanding of what made them who they are. Where the first one is just a straight up, like you said, it's a comic book.
Well, and also
starts to finish. That's it.
It just smacks of, and forgive me for being the ugly American. This is John saying this for the audio audience, not anybody else. But honestly, it's like, the flashback. No, we're going to put it in order. Right? And actually, I'm giving it an Italian thing. And really, it's the two Israeli producers that are doing this. And they were smart guys. I mean, that's the thing. They really should have stayed at the B movie level because they were incredibly effective. All those Chuck Norris movies. Last American Virgin was them.
Oh, I remember that movie. That's a good movie.
I've never seen the original, but there's an Israeli version called Lemon Popsicle. And it's the same movie, but they made it just for the Israeli market. And then they made it again as Last American Virgin. I swear.
And so Franco went to school with one of the kids in that movie.
That's true. I think the fat kid.
The big kid. Yeah.
B Things. Good to see you, B Things. I've been getting into low-budget sci-fi and fantasy movies lately. Me too. And I really love how they reveal how movies are put together.
Star Crash is great.
1978 Star Crash is the latest one I watched. It's delightful. Well, and Mitch and I were talking about it the other day. Here on Scene Missing, we did Gargoyles, the old 1972 TV movie. And, I mean, again, they're fun. They're fun. I could see the zipper on the lizard. Yeah, shut up. Who cares?
Well, no, but you know what? You couldn't when you had a bad TV because I think about it. That was in high def. When I was watching WCBS out in New York on a black and white TV set, you got to hold your hand on the antenna and the other hand out the window and don't win. And the picture would come in a little breeze.
Or you had a little one. Like how many kids had like the tiniest portable 5-inch screen TV?
Yeah, I mean, we had. I told you before, I didn't have a color TV till we'd go over to my grandparents' house. I thought Starsky and Hutch's car was blue and white, and I'm like, why do they keep calling it the Big Red Tomato? And then I went and saw it on a color TV. Wait, Starsky's car is red with the white stripe? I thought it was blue, and it's like, well, I had my own movie going on here.
James Bond. The first couple of James Bonds that I saw on TV, I thought they were black and white movies. I had no idea that
we didn't have the luxury of VCRs. They were just starting to come around in the early '80s. They cost a fortune. They were like $1,000. Yeah, nobody had that kind of money.
And over $100 for a movie. And over $100 for
my aunt had HBO and cable TV, so we'd go over her house, and that was a treat to watch a movie. On a TV because nobody owned movies. And that's why when these movies would come out, these schlocky movies, Star Crash and what's the other one? Dark Star, which is the
Battle
John
Beyond the
Carpenter.
Planets.
Battle Beyond the Planets is another one. Beastmaster. All those movies would come out. They were like drive-in movies. We'd see them because there was nothing else to go see, and you go see. For every Star Wars and Raiders there was a lot of cheesy movies that came out in between those months, and we were happy to see it. I'm sorry. That's why you said this movie's fun because they don't have $1 billion budget. They don't have $200 million. They're lucky if they have $5 million. I can't imagine this Captain America movie cost more than $6 million.
Well, look at the costume. The costume actually looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
I know about the rubber ear, by the way.
Yeah.
People, the reason why they did the rubber ears is they had it originally cut out, but it wouldn't stay on. I mean, it looks great in a comic book, but in the real world, you can't have these costumes, and that's why they ended up just putting the rubber ear on because it just kept sliding off his head, and then there was
Also, again, we have to stress this is a rough cut. Sound drops out occasionally.
There's no
like
music in a lot of it.
Yeah, or it sounds like inappropriate music at a weird time, like when they're leading up to the action scenes in the climax. They're still playing that mellow synth music, and it doesn't fit. And my assumption is that's the music that the guy had, and it was there in a temporary capacity.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see this rough cut, how it looked and everything, and he was likely going to fine-tune it after really reviewing it. It's great that it exists because, again, it is infinitely better than the theatrical version. I got another comment from somebody. Oh, no, that's B Things. Hold on. Pete Beiser. Good to see you, Pete. Just caught the new Frankenstein in the theater tonight. Stinks. So many people will say, see it on Netflix. Oh, it stinks that so many people will see it on Netflix and not a big screen. Yeah, Del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah, Ordway said that. Ordway went and found it. It's playing at one theater in our area. And we have a lot of big IMAX screens around us, but he found it at a little theater and he went to see it. And he says, yeah, it's great to see it on a big screen because of all the detail. And it's like a salute to Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. There's a lot of artwork that you'd appreciate it, but it's going to be on Netflix this Friday because that was the deal. Netflix doesn't give a crap about movie box office. They just want to have.
And I think they put it on screens even in a limited capacity to qualify for award season.
Yeah.
I mean that, and I get, and that's again a fascinating wrinkle of the last 10 years compared to the way we've watched movies.
And it's not a cheap movie. I mean, it's like $180 million Frankenstein production. I mean, there's a lot of money in this thing, and they're like, yeah, all right, we'll put it on Netflix. We don't care. Yeah.
Well, again, they want the subscribers more than they do people in the theater. Again, this is the shift in what's happening in pop culture, like it or not. And also, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't care. I literally watch most of my TV from my computer screen. But I've got friends that have ridiculous, 100-foot screens in their playroom. And so for them, it is a big experience and everything. So I don't know.
I was going to say, if this movie had come out properly, not even the director's version that we just saw, and it got a good release in theaters, do you think it would have done well back then?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do.
Like, $20 million.
Well, I don't know about I won't put it
a blockbuster, but I think
I won't put a box office on it, but and especially I would love. It's a shame that he's gone. It's a shame that he's gone. Period. And I knew him on a very bare acquaintance level, but Roger Ebert always gave the benefit of the doubt to a lot of low budget movies. I mean, literally, I remember literally hard R's on Cinemax that were teen sex comedies. And he would start a review, and he'd give it 3 stars. And the first paragraph is, listen, this is a teen sex comedy, but I'm telling you, it's a good teen sex comedy. And here's why. And would say whatever. He loved Dark City when Dark City was just a, cult classic and stuff. It's weird. Near the end, he didn't like Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass. He thought the violence was way too gratuitous. He really objected to Hit Girl getting shot in the chest, even though she had the bulletproof vest on and everything. That said, I think he would have I think he would have supported this movie, and I think it would have helped at the box office.
I remember Siskel and Ebert in the 80s when they were on PBS before they got syndicated. Whenever they would show a fantasy film, Roger always tended to like it, where Gene was always the more logical minded, and he was never a big comic book fan, and he would shoot things down. And so it was always interesting to see if they ever agreed on things. And I remember Sword and Sorcery. I remember they both liked it because I remember Roger saying there's a big budget movie coming out called Conan the Barbarian by Dino De Laurentiis, and this movie here is just as entertaining as that movie, and it's got the same stuff in it, swords and witches and all that stuff. So you're right. He would look past the plastic sets and the rubber tires and all that stuff and say, the movie has some heart and they're trying for it, and you'll get your 2 hours or 90 minutes worth of entertainment. So give it a shot,
And also, honestly, Matt Salinger, I'm as
oh, you're gonna go to Beastmaster?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, he much like my feelings about the James Bond Salinger actors. Yeah, not Matt Singer, Matt Salinger.
I thought, that's what you said. Yeah.
It's all right. But no, like James Bond, I don't think there's a bad James Bond actor. Even George Lazenby, I think does fine given his level of talents. I think Matt Salinger, much like our friend Reb Brown, is very earnest in his performance, and that's more than enough for me because that's the heart of Steve Rogers, an earnest guy with integrity. It's a little cheesier than the others. I mean, honestly, the greatest thing in the world happened at Terrifica when I met Reb Brown, and I'm like, man, you really got screwed with the scripts they gave you, and it's a shame because you're a great Steve Rogers, and he stood up and he hugged me, and I'm like, oh,
well, that's right. When you see him in the movie Uncommon Valor, and he plays the guy Blaster with Gene Hackman and Patrick Swayze, he does a good performance. Sure, I mean, he's not. Yes. It's not always the actor's fault. It's the material they're given. And, I've seen great actors in crappy movies, and Michael Caine's a good example. I mean, you're not going to say he's a bad actor, but sometimes he's in a poorly directed movie. But Matt Salinger, it's funny you mention that because, as I always say, he lives right down the road, and he actually does live right down the road, not near me, but he lives one of the W towns in Connecticut. I won't say which one, Weston, Wilton, Westport, one of those. And my friend Joe, who does a podcast about comic books, had the opportunity to interview him. This had to be like 7 years ago. He tracked him down. And Matt Salinger is the son of J.D. Salinger. And he said it was funny when he'd go to school, the English class, we'd always review Catcher in the Rye, but he got to sit that one out because when they were going to say, oh, what did J.D. Salinger mean when he wrote about Holden Caulfield? And Salinger's like, you want me to just go home and ask my dad? Because he wrote the damn thing.
Was he still close to his father?
Yeah. And he told that story that did happen in class, that the professors are explaining what Salinger meant by, when Holden is running around and he's looking for Phoebe in the woods, and he's like, my dad wrote this. Whatever you're about to say and teach the class is great, but my dad wrote this thing. Okay, I could go home and ask him what he meant by it and whatever teach. So, but he did not care for this movie, if I recall, because Joe was like, oh, you were Captain America, you were this and that. He didn't really want to talk about it. He did not want to go to conventions and sign posters and comic book DVDs. He was kind of embarrassed the way it came out. I mean, they went there, they tell you what the movie's going to be, they talk about the sets and all that, and then when you get there, you realize the budget's not as big as it's got to be for it, and they're doing a lot of. He's riding a bicycle at one point, and they're doing their own stunts because they don't really have stunt people there. They're doing that's him on the bike and stuff. There's a couple of scenes, and Matt Salinger's not a guy that's designed to jump off a building or anything. He's just a normal actor.
How about when they're in Italy and they're in the really tiny car? Yeah, which I love when I go to Europe and I see cars that small. And he looks like the Hulk when he gets.
He's a big dude. I mean, he's a tall guy to be doing this stuff, but. Yeah, he was not a big fan of this movie and doesn't really care to talk about it. But
oh well,
if it had worked and he became a big star, maybe they would have changed his mind on the whole thing.
And respectfully, I don't know if if only as far as him becoming a big star. But I agree with you, Mitch, that it's the way the movie is cut is certainly not flattering to his performance. But again, this director's cut, it's a little bit better. But no, I don't really see him getting beyond Canadian procedurals or no offense, Wayne. I've been talking about Crime Time on Primetime here in the States on some like Forever Night and some of those 90s.
Oh,
things.
Baywatch Nights. That was one too.
Yes. And Baywatch Nights was the Baywatch syndicators, but I think Silk Stockings was part of that originally before it went to USA. and Forever Night was another one like that. And there was a couple other procedurals that CBS would run instead of the talk shows before they got Pat Sajak and Letterman and all that stuff.
I know about Baywatch Nights because I almost sold the script to Baywatch Nights. That's why I know about that. I wrote a script for the X-Files. I wrote a script for the X-Files. I was on a press run out in Wisconsin, bored out of my mind in a hotel, and I had a pen and paper and a 3-ring notebook, and I wrote a whole story about a guy on a business trip who disappears, and you find out all these traveling salesmen throughout the 100 years have been disappearing, and they all started showing up, like the vacuum cleaner salesman, all this, and it was an X-Files story about they were trying to figure out what's going on with the traveling salesmen and why they're all popping up. So I literally just wrote the whole story, dialogue and everything, didn't even type it up, and sent it out to the, you know who it was, the woman that wrote the episode of Star Trek that has Captain, the guy that was the warden in Shawshank. It's a tin drum.
Bob Gutton.
Bob Gutton. Yeah. It's that episode. That was my favorite episode. Now, that was written by a woman who was a secretary at the office, and then she said, "Oh, could I, give the script?" And that's who wrote that one. Faggio, her name was, because they named the character after her that was in the Data episode, the guy that was the collector. That's the one. That's who wrote that episode. So I wrote to her saying I had known the backstory because I read it in Cinema Fantastic, that Mark Altman magazine. And I said, how do you get, she goes, well, this is what you need to do. So I called Chris Carter's studio. It was in Canada. And I said, I got a script, and I was recommended by, I can't think of her name, Mary Faggio or something. And, oh, she sends you? Sure. This is all on the phone. There's no internet. They go, oh, just send it right to our office. So I went right around thousands of like lawyers and everybody, and went right into Chris Carter's office, and they took my script and they had it in development for 2 years. And I would get notes from the production company, like, we're reviewing this, and they had questions on stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And then finally I got a note with the script back, said, unfortunately, we due to budgetary things, we can't do this script because there was a lot of science fiction stuff in it. And they said, okay, fine. So I had it, and then Baywatch Nights started. So I went into my script and I changed the name Scully and Mulder to Mitch and whoever that show was. And it was the same exact story. And I sent it to Baywatch Nights, and the show got canceled, but they were like, oh, this is a great script. And I'm like, yeah, I got this close to being a big screenwriter.
Why don't you, anyway. And then you can draw.
I still have it. Yeah.
I was going to say, man, turn it into a comic book. That sounds great. And really pitch it to Oni. They're doing the Twilight Zone now. And
I should have told Mitch Pileggi when he was at my show in August about it, because it's literally sitting in a binder over there somewhere.
Hilarious.
Whatever. But anyway, Captain America, that's her name. Lolita Faggio.
B Things tells us it's Lolita Faggio that Mitch tells us, which is very nice. But,
do you want to hear a funny fact?
You're related
on the original movie, the Blu-ray that I have, they have the special features.
Which movie are you talking about?
Oh, Captain America. Captain America. We're still talking Captain America. Sorry.
The director's cut or the real? To be clear, that it wasn't an X-Files movie or something. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't an X-Files.
So you're talking about the Blu-ray of the Salinger movie, correct?
Yeah, of the Salinger movie. The not the director's cut. So the director says, I really wanted to do two characters. I wanted to do someone else to be Steve Rogers, and then Howie Long to be Captain America.
Football player.
The football player.
After he transforms, he's suddenly
after he transforms, he's
interesting.
Huey Long, like
Huey Long.
Huey Long. Yeah.
Huey, political.
Howie Long.
Football player. Yes, indeed. Who's in both I'm sorry, the Keanu Reeves action movie, Broken Arrow?
Surf?
No, that's not him. Broken Arrow is with no, that's with Christian Slater and John Travolta.
So all right, but there's first of all, he's in Fire Something was his action movie that Howie Long made.
Okay.
Firestorm.
But also, wasn't he a bad guy in a Travolta train?
He might have been in Broken Arrow, but that was with because I know the girl that's in that movie. She was Samantha Mathis, who is BB Besh's daughter. BB Besh is Dr. Carol Marcus, but Samantha Mathis, it was River Phoenix' girlfriend. She's the one when he overdoses that night, because my son's in a movie with Samantha Mathis. And I remember talking to her on the set, and I go, oh my God, you're BB Besh's daughter. And We're all over the place about that.
No.
Basically, we know everybody.
We know
everybody. We know BB Bash, River Phoenix. Wayne's got the entire Canadian, military on his speed dial. We're all set.
Thursday, I'm going to the Museum of Broadcasting here in Chicago. They're doing a signing because it's the centennial of good stuff. Johnny Carson would have been my 100th birthday had I.
Oh, really?
Lived.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And Mark Malkoff, who did the Carson podcast for years and really got everybody on record that was still alive, including Doc Severinsen.
Doc's still there.
He's made a book called Love Johnny Carson, and he's doing a book signing there, and he's coming back to Word Balloon to be back on. So that's going to be really nice.
I'll have to watch that.
And also, again, we will not spoil, but today the last episode of Star Trek Con dropped, and I know Mitch hasn't had a chance to listen to it. Wayne and I have. I haven't finished the final episode. I won't say anything other than the fact that I'm recording on Thursday with David Mack, who co-wrote Star Trek Con and also has a new Strange New Worlds novel out. So I'll be on my best behavior. And also, again, I'm still 20 minutes left of the final episode, but I kind of like the big parts of it have already passed. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And certainly more than I've liked most of the filmed live action Star Trek that we've gotten in the last 8 years. And so I was telling Mitch the other day, I'm like, whenever you get to it, it's, and I've told other friends that are, like, I don't know. I'm like, it's better than my feelings on Strange New Worlds or most of Discovery. So, what'd you think, Wayne?
Well, my hesitation with it is, who's the antagonist? I mean, Khan's the hero of the story?
Not really. I mean, he's kind of an anti-hero. I mean, he's still Khan. Without going into detail,
but there's. Well, I'm saying, I was going to say they're stranded on a planet with his own.
There's people. A bad guy. A bad guy emerges that is in conflict with Khan. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And it makes sense from the story standpoint. This takes a few wild left turns. Again, I don't want to say anything, Mitch, until you hear it. And then
when you take Harley for a walk, it's a good.
I listen to my podcast. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And it's in half-hour increments basically. When you take away the commercial.
So it's like Lord of the Flies with Ricardo Montalban in space. Is that what this is?
Pretty much.
They're all turning on each other. They're all stuck.
Well, there's certainly a hierarchy and definitely a Roman backstabbing element.
Okay.
So
there's a piggy.
I was going to say, is there a fat guy in there that gets eaten?
Pretty much. Although he's not fat, but one of the weaker ones certainly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to talking to David Mack, and it's not.
And how long a period is it? The entire time they were on the planet for years? Because he left him 10 years? That was chronological?
20 years.
Was it 20 years?
Right, Wayne? 20 years, right?
Well, he finds him, he leaves him.
It's not the full. It's the episode covers. After Khan leaves SETI Alpha 5, but not everything that's happened.
If I may correct you briefly, after he leaves the Enterprise to land on SETI Alpha.
Yes.
So it starts with them.
It's at
go ahead.
It's at the start of when the catastrophe of SETI Alpha 6 exploding.
Yeah.
It more or less stops, let's say, a year or two after that. When this episode ends. It's not even close to when Chekhov comes to the planet, but it's
right.
Just
that's
after.
Right. Oh, that's the end of the story. The beginning of the story is all right. They're there, and it really covers heavily the first year they're on the planet. Yeah. Then it jumps 5 years. Then it jumps again, as Wayne said,
a few years.
A few years.
All right.
But SETI Alpha 6 during the thing explodes.
Yeah.
And they are dealing with the environmental hazards of SETI Alpha 6 exploding on SETI Alpha 5.
Now, here's a total nerdy thing. Do they say that the SETI Alpha 5 and 6 are on the same orbit? Because I was always like, how does a navigator not find this planet when you're talking Star Trek? I mean, you know what I mean? We got the Voyager out there outside of the solar system right now. We got that other Titan thing they're tracking, and they get the wrong planet. I always was like, how do they not know?
Wayne, you've heard the full of the final episode. It is something they introduce earlier in the show All I want to know, Wayne, is do they come back to it and wrap it up?
No.
That was my concern, and I intend to ask David Mack about that, because there's that adage that they talk about in Robert McKee's book Story about storytelling. If there's a gun on the wall by the final act, it's
going to shoot it.
Isn't that Chekhov?
Shooting in the final.
Chekhov's play
It's
about
Chekhov
introduce something in the first.
Oh, that's right. It was originally, ironically, from Chekhov.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So wait, are you nitpicking this thing already, Johnny?
Oh, 100% I am.
Okay.
No.
It's not nitpicking. It's just. Oh, and I asked John.
He's messing with me. It's cool.
No, I'm serious. When he's like, "No, wait, they didn't fix this." I go, "Oh, here we go. Here we go."
Mitch, you got to hear it, because it is kind of this moment that really does stick out. Of there's 6 planets.
Yes.
How come they didn't know where did?
That's what I always said. That's what I've been bothering
everybody
for 40
said.
years on this thing. Yes. I'm like, what's going on?
And that's why I wonder if Mr. Mack and Ms. Byers, who made the final script, if it got rewritten or eliminated in some way, because it does kind of hang there. And and sorry, buddy, it's minor spoiler. I assumed it was going to lead to a Walter Koenig small cameo
at the very end.
Or at some point, Mitch, if not at the very end.
No, that's how I thought it was going to end. But without even listening to it, I thought, Khan thinks that tomorrow is the new day, and then in the distance you see 2 figures beaming down, and that's going to leave. That's how I thought it was going to go.
No, well, go ahead, Wayne, because again,
and then I asked John about the. I listened recently to the Eugenics Wars books. So there's 3 books. The first 2 books deals. 3 con books dealing with the eugenics wars, and they're audiobooks. They're abridged. They're pretty cool. First one's by narrated by, oh my God, his name. He was Jives on Buffy.
Hugh Laurie?
No, on Buffy.
Anthony Head.
Anthony Head, and then
Giles.
Renee
Giles. You're getting every name. You're like me today, man. You're getting every name wrong. Giles.
And then Renee Auberjonois.
Yes. Auberjonois. He's dead.
Auberjonois is he narrated book 2. They didn't do book 3. Book 3 deals with reigning in hell, and that's with Khan stranded on Ceti Alpha 5. And I asked John that if he's read the book.
Read them. I read the book.
Them. And does the book have anything to do with this audio drama? No. And John said no. Nope. So this is another sort of retelling of Khan's being stranded on Ceti Alpha.
But unlike a novel that, again, they've always been very clear. No, novels are not canon. Okay, fine. This did start with Nicholas Meyer writing essentially an on-camera miniseries. And they decided it was too expensive to make, and you can see that now with some of the budget cuts. Hold on, and let me finish explaining. And then, so instead, they adapted it into the 9-part audio drama, and that was Kirsten Byers and David Mack. Again, I got to ask David how much, and I don't expect to go chapter and verse with me, but just how much they used of the treatment. Did they have enough license to, add more things like that? Go ahead, Mitch. Excuse me.
Well, no, I'm going to say if it had been filmed like they originally planned, then it would have been canon, I assume, right?
Right. And that's kind of why.
But the fact that they don't go for that route because of budgetary, why can't this be canon?
I don't know. And again, they won't commit to it, Mitch. I've been listening to them interviewed, and more Kirsten than David. And Kirsten Byers mysteriously said that's still being discussed. I don't know if that's because Secret Hideout is at the end of its deal. And maybe it will be, not that they would negate Discovery, Strange New Worlds, etc. Right. This being a podcast, they can wave away. And also, as you'll hear when you hear the story, Mitch, they introduce some elements that would certainly lead to more questions. Would you agree, Wayne?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, because it's just frustrating when they come out with this stuff, and they did promote this well. It wasn't like another novel or a comic book. They were promoting this on Star Trek Day. This is the podcast. They got Takai on it. They got Tim Russ on it. So when you got some of these heavy hitters in it, one would assume that they're going to do like Star Wars did at one point. They said, "Oh no, this Shadows of the Empire is legit. This is what happened between episodes 5 and 6." Now Disney, bullshit. That stuff, we threw that out the window. That doesn't count. And you're like, well, does it? I don't know anymore. I don't think it makes a difference anymore. I really think.
Well, no, no.
Continuity's gone as far as we know.
And at the end of the day, did you enjoy it? Sure, and that should always be the high.
I say that with everything. When I go to a movie and somebody, I heard that movie bombed. I go, hey, look, I got my $12 worth. I had 2 hours. I didn't think about death, and I liked it. So that served its purpose.
All right. Did you guys see Tron Ares? I heard so many bad things. I stayed.
No, my friend in Australia saw it. He loved it, and I said I wouldn't waste my time. He's like, why? I go, I didn't like the last one. In fact, I don't really even like the original one that much. It's like, it's okay. I only liked Olivia Wilde because I think she's gorgeous.
Oh, God, yes. But I actually liked the second movie enough. And the only way it suffered for me was, the de-aging CGI wasn't ready yet. But it kind of worked for Tron, the second one, because he's a copy of Flynn. And also this, corrupt computer program. So I kind of liked that his face was a little blurry.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the effects. I just thought overall, Tron himself, Bruce Boxleitner's character, wasn't really in the movie. And then he said, "Oh no, he is, Daddy." Here's like, "I fight for me," or "I fight for," and that was it. I said, "Wait, that voice was supposed to be Tron?" He goes, "Yeah." I go,
"Oh, I think the voice was Bruce Boxleitner, but
it was him." But I thought if you're going to call it Tron Legacy, I expect to see more of that character in the movie instead of this one little quick.
And he's not in Tron Ares at all, and I guess Bridges is barely in it. And it's like, well, geez, everything I like about Tron.
Why is it still called Tron? Because Tron was the guy,
right? I so agree, and also I'm sorry. I cannot stand Jared Leto. I cannot stand him. And if you're gonna give me a movie, it's like when Ezra Miller had a 2-hour Flash movie, and I'm like, and that he was playing a double of himself. Too much Ezra Miller. So I don't need. I mean, I liked him, and it was a shame that the first Suicide Squad movie wasn't the squad against the Joker. That would have made a hell of a lot more sense. And he was I liked him in that movie because he was so weird and annoying. But I'm not usually a Jared Leto.
Wait, which one are you talking?
The 2016 Suicide Squad movie. Not the Suicide Squad, the gun movie. David Ayer's movie, or Hader. I forget how you say David Ayer.
David Ayers. Yeah.
Release the Ayer cut. Release the Ayer cut.
Well, wait. What was Ezra Miller in that one?
No. I'm saying the Flash movie. I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller anyway.
Right.
So to have two versions of Ezra Miller in the Flash movie, no, thank you. Jared Leto, I usually hate. However,
he was the Joker. In
the Suicide Squad. I got you.
All
right, there you go.
There are some good things in that movie. I mean, the whole Will Smith Batman with Ben Affleck. That was the best. That was the best Ben Affleck Batman ever in all the movies. When he was chasing the Joker in the car and he punches Harley Quinn out. I thought that was great, but what are you gonna do?
I gotta say, I love Affleck no matter what. I thought his Batman, regardless of which movie you're talking about,
I agree.
He could play an older Bruce Wayne, no problem. If you could age him up, I could see him as they could really do the Dark Knight with him as an older actor. I think Peter Weller is too old to do it now. He did an amazing voice acting job on the animated version. But I think Affleck could really do a good Batman. And it unfortunately the scripts were just brutal.
Well, you don't know what happened with that solo movie he was going to make, and you don't know what kind of interference he got that he finally was like, something, F this, I'm out.
It's not worth it. Yeah, he walked away.
Yeah, which is a shame.
No, that was
I also think as a director too. He
Argonovsky or something. His name?
Aronofsky, you mean?
Aronofsky, yeah, he was supposed to.
No, that was different. That was a different script.
That was a different.
That was a different project.
Because originally I remember reading Affleck was going to direct and write it, and then he got off the directing part, and then I was like, "What's going on?" And then the whole thing went out the window. So.
Honestly, on another thing on Amazon Prime, those Icon documentary series.
Oh yeah, those are good.
The Batman one is very, very good.
Yeah,
Very,
what's his name? Robert Wool's in a lot of that. He narrates.
Yeah, he narrates it. Yeah, he narrates that one. Yeah. No, it's excellent. And I never finished it, and just because I got busy with other things, I'm so behind on everything new streaming wise. But the episodes I saw were great. I don't know if they cover Affleck was supposed to do that,
I
or
watched
if
them
they
all,
got
but it
into
was a while
Snyder.
back.
Did they get into the Snyder movies or no?
I think they do. I think they touch on Batman, Superman, but I don't think they got into the new kid. What's the Pattinson? He's not mentioned.
Robert Pattinson.
No, I wouldn't assume so. I think it was made before that.
Yeah, I think it ends with the Ben Affleck versions.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You know, John, as an idea,
No, I don't
head to head, you should have like the Fantastic Four, the Corman Fantastic Four versus.
Oh, the other one that came out in 2000?
Yeah, the go
Josh Trank.
Either that or go or even just doing the Red Brown, going through and doing reviews of the Red Brown Captain America after this.
Again, there's no way in hell Gabe is going to do a superhero movie.
No, I own all the movies that he's holding up right now. They're literally.
Sure.
I even have the Doctor Strange one.
I would be happy to discuss all those movies with you guys.
You could do second-rate superheroes. Call it that.
Yes.
This is not the Punisher. Dolph Lundgren is not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie, except
it's just that it's not the Punisher.
He's butt naked at the end with those knives.
Kind of like Thomas Jane's Punisher movie,
or the Warzone one with everybody loved that one with Stevenson,
Dominic. Oh, it was Ray. You're right. It was Ray.
Yeah, he just passed away.
But
I didn't know that.
The second one, the Thomas Jane one, was basically the
Welcome
Back. It was
Frank.
the Garth Ennis
Welcome Back, Frank.
It's
that storyline.
Yes,
with the Russian and everything.
Yeah, but it's like Florida. It's like
Rebecca Romaine and John Travolta is the bad guy. It's like
yes, he is.
And there's a director's cut of that.
Oh, there is.
It starts off with an animated sequence by Tim Bradstreet.
I was going to say Bradstreet did a lot of the art direction on that movie, and he's an old friend going back to college years.
Oh yeah,
he told me. And I'm like, so what happened? And also I interviewed Thomas Jane back then too, when he was doing the Mutant Chronicles, and I asked him about the Punisher.
No, it's funny you should mention Bradstreet because somebody offered me to have him to come.
Oh God, please bring Tim if you can, Mitch. He's and
I'm trying to remember who asked me about it. They said, and he did the variant cover for my what's the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Metal. Remember that? The Batman Metal in 2017. Tim Bradstreet, I bought a variant cover, and the only Terrificon variant Batman cover. He was the artist on that. So I never met him though, but I got the books.
He's a very old friend.
Very nice.
In fact,
guy.
I don't even have a current email. It's been forever since I've.
Okay, but no, somebody just sent me his name on a list. I was like,
he was going to Illinois Wesleyan University, and down the street was Illinois State, and we ended up at the same comic book stores. And we knew he was a great artist. Then he was selling photographs of an 8x10 sketch, and it was horizontal, of Eastwood as Josie Wales, and it was so beautiful, and he was selling them for $2. I wish I still had mine, but then he got there was Wayne, there was a gaming company that was in Normal, Illinois, where Illinois State was, and he did artwork for them, and he worked on those White Wolf role-playing games, and that's where he really got his start, and then he transitioned to comic books and stuff. And because of his comic books, and when that Thomas Jane Punisher movie was made, Avi Arad is like, oh, no, this is the guy you want to capture the look of what you're trying to do. So yeah. He's a great.
Where's the director's cut of that movie? Is that on Tubi or something? I never knew there was.
I don't know. I have it downstairs. I forgot to pull that one out. I have all 3 Punishers, so. That's great.
No, I've got them too. I got Warzone, but I didn't know there was another version of that one.
No, it'd be fun to do that, man. Here you go.
What?
Mike Jones pointing out the second
Death Station Christopher Lee
movie
with one of the longest hang glider chases ever put on film. He's on a motorcycle and a hang glider, and you could go and do your taxes and come back, and that thing is still going on. It must have been exciting on TV when we were stupid and young, and we didn't. Oh my God, a hang glider, and they would show it.
Cool. Sure.
But now you watch it going, Jesus H. Christ, this has been going on for 5 or 6 minutes now.
Yeah, but at least the costume looked good, man. As opposed to the first movie.
The second one, He got the costume closer to the real Captain America, not that jumpsuit thing. That is as annoying as that one. I bet Wayne doesn't have this. He ran downstairs to get that thing. The Wonder Woman movie with Kathy Lee Crosby. And is it Ricardo Montalban or Fernando Lamas?
It is Montalban.
It is. Okay, there you go. When I watched that movie, and I remember it came on CBS, and I was all excited because there's going to be a Wonder Woman movie. And she shows up wearing that stewardess's outfit. Remember that polyester thing with the tights? And you're like, what in the hell is this? And she's throwing a javelin. All I remember is her throwing a javelin. I never watched
they do. Nubia is in that movie. Wonder Woman's black sister.
Yeah. She's the bad guy in that movie.
No, she's just another Paradise Island Amazon. She was the bad guy. No, Montalban is the bad guy. If he had a warrior to fight Kathy Lee, I don't remember. But
I thought at the end her sister comes back and she's working for him and they have the fight. That's how I remember.
Wow, you might be right.
It's been 50 years, dude. I haven't seen it.
That's why for Gargoyles it was such a delight.
That was on HBO Max for a long time. When I'd go clicking on it, that was on, and I'm like, I'm not watching it again. You can't make me watch it unless I have to do the show.
You know what? I want to revisit certain episodes because they had so many comic book guys writing it. The Gerard Christopher years of the Superboy syndicated.
I have all those. Those are season 3 is the one you want to get. That I think Mike Carlin's writing those, and
I think Denny O'Neil might have been
Kyle Baker. Is it Kyle Baker?
And Len wasn't Len?
No, Andy Heffler's working on that too.
Okay, yeah. No, I think a lot of the guys were beyond those 3, but
and they were really good because they were like watching comic books. It was like, oh, this is a comic book mentality type of thing.
No, 100%.
No, but what I was going to tell you about the Fantastic Four movie, for some reason, there's a high def version of it on YouTube right now, and I don't know why or who's running it or whatever. But I watched it, and it isn't that bad. There's some weird stuff in there with the guy in the sewer who's supposed to be the mole man. They call him the jeweler. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But the whole Doctor Doom thing, and they're trying to get the comet. I can't think of the name of it.
When he's sitting on his throne, it looks like a Def Leppard video. And I mean that as a compliment.
No, and the guy that plays the thing, I think that was a Jim Henson puppet. He's not very big, but the makeup looked great.
But as you know, didn't you have Stephen Culp, Dr. Doom, at Terrificon or no?
No, I never had him at my show.
Okay, that's Robert Culp's son, of course.
Oh, I know that, but
not Stephen Culp, I forget his name. Culp is his last name. Isn't he Robert Culp's son?
Yeah, he is, but I didn't have him.
He's a different actor. That's.
I was going to say I interviewed the guy's son, Alex Hyde White. He's Alfred Hyde White's son.
Wilfred Hyde White's son.
Wilfred Hyde White. Yeah, I interviewed him because he's in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He plays the young Sean Connery, but they cut him out of the movie because they wanted to have the reveal of Sean Connery. Son of a bitch. He's got it right there. Wayne is holding up the Kathy Lee Crosby. Don't tell me it's on Blu-ray too, is it?
No, it's on DVD.
It's horrible.
Go on, but finish your...
Anyway, Alex Hyde White, who plays Mr. Fantastic in that film, the Fantastic Four movie, the Corman one, he was originally young Henry Jones Sr., the Sean Connery part, but Connery did not want to have his appearance spoiled, so they cut the poor guy out of the movie. So all you see is his hands drawing the little illuminated manuscript in the beginning of the movie. But there's behind the scenes footage. He's dressed in full costume with the beard and everything, looking like a young Sean Connery, and he had scenes with River Phoenix, all thrown out of the movie.
That's too bad.
And then he goes after that. He goes to go do the damn Fantastic Four movie. And then he gets screwed over on that movie, too, because it's like they thought it was going to be a real big deal, So
thank you, Mike. Joseph Culp is Dr. Doom. Thank you very much, my man.
And those people do appear in the Fantastic Four movie that just came out this summer, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't Salinger do a cameo in something? Maybe I'm wrong. I was wondering that. I knew that about... All right, I knew that about the Corman people being in the
Fantastic Four. Rebecca Straub. Jay Underwood,
Alex White. By the way, is that streaming yet on Disney or no?
Friday it is, the 5th.
Oh, this Friday? There you go. Yep. By the way, guys, I know you. I know Wayne. I think saw Marvel Zombies. Did you? Yeah, Mitch, that's the face I made. Yeah,
I told you it was a struggle. I was looking so forward to it when it was announced. I said, this is going to be great as an animated movie. Yeah. 4 parts, bring it on. I fell asleep watching the first episode. I didn't want to watch the second. I heard the other episodes were good because of the animation fights. So I jumped ahead to episode 4. There's a great fight between the Hulk and all the zombies. And then I watched a little 3. Yeah, I hated it. I don't care who I'm offending. I'm just telling you what I like and don't like. I don't like eggplants. I don't eat eggplants. I don't like Marvel Zombies. I'm not watching the whole damn thing. It was not for me. I don't know who it was made for. Maybe it's a K-pop zombie thing because it's got these 4 young teenage girls fighting zombies. So maybe that's what they're going for. But
hey, and again, I don't mean this as a pejorative, everybody, but it's a girl power thing, and that's fine. But can you sprinkle in, a couple guys? Is that asking too much? And I'm sorry, when you go to that extreme, you're going to lose a portion of your audience. And don't ask, well, I don't understand. These are all the great heroes. And it's like, no, there are other great heroes that you could balance. Again, I realize that the scale was male heavy for decades, if not centuries. And now, okay, fine. But I don't think the other extreme is a solution. That's all I'm saying.
The bigger problem is it's based on a property that I've known, and it's been around for 20 years called Marvel Zombies, which was it had Spider-Man eating Mary Jane and Aunt May's, the Hulk's eating brains and stuff, and Captain. That's what I thought I was going to see. They're there in certain parts. You got to look hard for it, but that's not it's not an adaptation of the Robert Kirkman Marvel Zombies comic, which I thought was going to be the premise of this thing.
I don't mind taking the premise and making a different story because, and I hear what you're saying, Mitch, and I don't disagree. But sometimes when they do that, you get a different story, and then it surprises you in good ways. That was not the case in this thing. And again, it's like, all right, there's a reason why that Bob Iger is saying, oh, we're thinking about getting more male intellectual properties because it seems like we've lost the male audience. Really? Well, look at your body of work, your company. Not he wasn't responsible for some of it, but look at that body of work since, again, as we always point out, things have not been great since Endgame. Things like, thank God, Thunderbolts and FF are good exceptions, and things are moving in the right direction again. But and also, as we all know, I think the outside of potentially Star Wars and an Avatar, I think the $1 billion superhero Gates, it's going to take a long time to get back to that, if ever. And I don't think I think if ever may not be real.
I don't think Doomsday is going to be the big hit they hope. I think it'll make money, but maybe like $700 million.
And also, Mitch, think all the money that they're spending on it to get everybody back.
Downey Jr.'s $100 million in it. Just to get him in the movie,
I would assume.
All their eggs in that one basket. Go for broke.
Don't you? And I mean, we may have discussed this before. I think that's going to be another end cap. And if they're smart, let's reset everything and we go right back to the beginning.
Dude, and I don't know why they didn't do it with Endgame. I thought I was happy with it. I saw old Cap and I'm like, okay, yes, close the book, get the next series out.
I almost wonder, given that we're going to be dealing with alternate versions of characters in Secret War and Doomsday, that we might see the new versions of these heroes and that they then at the end of the movie, we're going to be following these people. And that way, okay, fine. You've got a final movie with the classics. You got the new people there. I mean, again, it's already a busy movie bringing the X-Men in and everything. But I would say do that. And that way you don't have to do origin movies again. And you can just have Captain America 5 and just be whoever the new Steve Rogers is. And don't disrespect Anthony Mackie. I will say, again, I was going to bring it up earlier when we were talking about the Matt Salinger movie. Got to be honest, guys. I like this movie better than Anthony Mackie's Brave New World. I really do.
That's crazy talk.
I know it is, buddy. Feel free to disagree, honestly. But I kind of do.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I will. It's fine.
Because you know why? They had better action sequences in Captain America.
Of course it did. Of course it did. I agree with all that. I just still
think Harrison Ford's performance hulking out at the end rivals Michael Nuri in that scene where he's in the hospital. Oh, Captain America. I remember him.
I'll be the sole contra person with the Marvel Zombies. I liked it.
Did you really?
God bless you, son. That's all right.
It's zombies. I accept the stories. I think it's just using the Scarlet Witch as the central character. Well, she becomes the central character, sort of to control the zombies. I don't think anyone cares.
Did you guys check the credits? Was it Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah, it was her voice.
Yeah.
Well, and that shows you, despite her, I'm done with the Marvel Universe.
Well, she said she filmed it or recorded it years ago. I mean, she said
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they usually do the voice acting first.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's how we still had
years
Chadwick
for the
Boseman
animation to catch up.
You know, we had one final performance with Chadwick Boseman and what.
Yeah. Yeah. And the what ifs. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah. I'm just saying that if you like the Marvel zombie comics,
I did
for what they were. This is a Marvel zombie. It's female centric. I have no issues with that. Look, if I can hold this in my hand, proudly in my hand, the Wonder Woman with Kathy Lee Gifford,
dressed as a stewardess from the 70s,
in my hand,
again,
and say that it is part of my movie collection. After someone says, "There's no way Wayne would have that copy," and then he ran, going, "Oh, forget! Oh, I'm not going to look for the Punisher. I'm going to pull this one out."
I was one when you took off. I said, "Is he going to find that Punisher cut?" But no, listen.
Wait, I just want to point out, I would love to. Now I want to see a Kathy Lee Gifford movie as a superhero.
Kathy Lee Gifford.
I'm Wonder Woman Rage. Or Hoda. Hoda's their sidekick. Hoda's their Robin. Go ahead, Mitch. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say it's not a misogynistic viewpoint saying, "Oh, I hate any female."
Oh, no.
That's not the point of it all. It's just like
what we're saying.
I know. I was going to say when I was going to see Marvel Zombies, I really thought it was going to be like the Werewolf by Night. Again, I know the character. I've read the books. I didn't know what to expect.
Jack Russell.
It was a good one shot, and done. The Man-Thing popped up in it. One of my favorite characters. I was thinking they were going to just do these one-off Halloweenish movies.
Yes, I did
like
too.
they did the Agatha All Along. Okay, that came out in Halloween. A little too much singing for me, but that's my deal. And then I was like, why don't we just drop these? And in my world, though Kevin Feige doesn't call me like he should, I would have done the Marvel horror books one a year every Christmas. Do the zombie character, the Garth. Simon Garth character, do the Tomb of Dracula, do the Frankenstein monster, and then after all those, you do an Avengers type, meetup, and you do the Legion of Monsters, and you do them as TV movies, one off, and they all come together and meet up for one big epic fight, looking for the Darkhold or whatever the book. That would have been a cool thing to do on a small budget because it's nighttime. You don't see a lot because it's all in the shadows, so you don't have to spend crazy amount of money on building big sets because it's supposed to be creepy, nighttime spooky stuff. But no, they didn't go that way. What do I know?
I will say for like what Mitch was talking about, like the Werewolf by Night, and yes, I do have those.
But as opposed to those, again, for the audio audience, Wayne, does Wayne have the Batman serials on DVD or Blu-ray?
Oh, God.
And the answer is yes.
And I have the Shazam. The Shazam is the best.
It is.
It's not Shazam. It's Captain
Marvel. Yeah.
That is the best serial ever made.
Yeah.
And the transfer quality to Blu-ray is outstanding.
Good.
That's on Amazon.
If you want to,
you can find it everywhere.
One serial.
Yeah.
From I think it was Republic Pictures.
It was.
If you want one serial to get, and you just want to see what inspired Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sorry, if you want to see what inspired Raiders of the Lost Ark, that and Star Wars, that serials aspect of the 40s, watch Captain Marvel. It is the best serial ever made. And to back up with Mitch, Man-Thing was a lot better than the Man-Thing movie that I'm currently holding in my hand.
Yeah.
That on Werewolf by Night, the appearance of Ted Sallis as the Man-Thing was a lot better than this.
Oh, that's horrible, that movie.
This one is definitely horrible. Yeah. The Swamp Thing TV series is a lot better than this.
With
the
Dick
two
Durock.
Swamp Thing movies are better than this.
The Man-Thing, that movie that you hold up there, I thought it was a Sci-Fi Channel movie, if I recall. Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I saw it on the
Asylum.
Sci-Fi Channel. The Man-Thing himself only shows up at the end, and it's a real bad CGI.
What year is it, Wayne? What year is the
Oh my
movie?
God.
Like 2004 or 3, something like that.
Is
It's
it that
bad.
late?
Yeah. It was right around when Blade was around.
2004.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was likely an Avi Arad Marvel production.
Oh, I think it is.
When he was still
horrible.
running things. Yeah. Interesting.
It's bad. It's a shitty movie.
I for some reason I thought it was earlier, like New World Marvel era. Okay.
Now, the best non-Marvel movie ever.
The best what?
The best non-Marvel movie ever? Blade.
Oh,
it
kind of is a Marvel movie, but I hear
it is a Marvel movie, but the effects are kind of.
I understand everything really started with Iron Man in 2000.
Everything started with Iron Man,
but I do believe that, and you're right, I suppose so. Was that Fox, that the studio that made Blade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I always say that the real modern comic book era began with Blade, because some people say, "Oh, X-Men and Spider-Man and all," and Sam Raimi's, and I'm like, no, it was Blade in '98, and it's ironic because I think Shaq's Steel was the same year, if not, it was the year before. But '97 was the death of the old Superman movie or superhero movies with Batman and Robin in '97.
Yeah, it was.
And the rebirth started very slowly with Blade. And then we got Spider-Man and the X-Men. Yeah. And things got better. But there were still clunkers along the way.
Oh, God,
Elektra, Catwoman, certainly
Daredevil.
on the side. Yeah, Daredevil, again, director's cut. Yeah. I like the director's cut.
Director's cut, there's a whole crime trial thing. Is it Flavor Flav?
No, it's Coolio. It's
Coolio, that's it.
But it ties into the Kingpin.
It ties into the guy Wesley who's murdering people. There's a whole subplot there.
And Ben Urich. That's how Ben Urich gets on the trail.
More to do. He's been at my show twice.
Oh, Joey Pants. Yeah, Joey Pants.
Yeah. B Things is right. It's a New Line movie, Blade.
Okay, thank you. Beautiful. And Mike says he just watched Dick Durock as a Gamma villain. Yes.
It was called The First One, or The First. That's a good one. That's a great one there.
That's honestly, guys, as you know, that's a great 2-part Hulk. The one where the meteor crashes.
Yeah, and he gets stuck in transformation. Yeah.
Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
Very funny. Very good. Good stuff.
Was that the 5th season where they reused they had some other science fiction thing? They were going to film like with a space capsule. They're like, "Hey, we spent a lot of money on that set, so let's reuse it." I think they used it for the Hulk.
Could be. And they have the Most Dangerous Game storyline. That's
a good one too. And
with the
Lonnie
big game
Anderson
hunter and stuff.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't remember her being in that one.
Yeah, dark hair. She's in one of them. She's not blonde.
Yes.
She's like a reddish brown in one of them.
Because her natural hair color was always brunette. But I love, and I won't spoil it if you've never seen it, everybody. But that episode of the Hulk, it has a very dark final moment in it that is shocking in a great way for a television show.
Whether he killed the guy or not?
No. I'm not going to spoil. I'll tell you after.
Spoiler alert for a 50-year-old TV show, but go ahead, man.
The episode that I liked from the Hulk was when you had Banner was wrapped up like a mummy, his face.
Yes, John Doe.
And McGee was just there. Just to be, it was like basically, I think he's just pulling it down, and the transformation begins. So he doesn't know that it's Banner, right? It is
and it's sad because
it's like that. It's like the one-armed man that I almost got the one-armed man.
Well, but also there's that little bit of regret in Jack McGee, the reporter, because before David Banner regains his memory, they're friends in a bad situation, helping each other out. And later episodes, when the Hulk runs away, McGee calls him John Doe because that's how he knew him. And he's like, "Please, John, come back." And it's because he thinks he's got a connection with the guy. And I think it just all it did was give us another dimension of Jack McGee in a very great way. And that's what I'm saying, man. Every now and then these schlock shows surprise you with like a really good episode.
They only let him do I think he shows up in the Trial of the Hulk, the TV movie. But for whatever reason, they never brought that character back. They never talked about why he couldn't come back, or maybe
that's fair. You know what? Honestly, maybe I don't know if he died during those.
No,
movies.
he was still alive. John Calicos,
okay.
whatever his name.
No, that's a different guy, man. He wasn't.
No, but I think his name was something like that.
Oh,
look it up, Wayne. What's his name?
Look it up.
That's Core from.
No, I know, but this guy's name was Colios or something like John Colios. Jack McGee on the Hulk.
Oh, that's funny. Mike Jones is all about Rex Smith as Daredevil in the.
No.
I would have watched it
with John Rhys Davies. John Rhys Davies as the Kingpin with his hair slicked back, and
John Rhys Davies, absolutely.
Yeah, he was wearing those goggles.
Wilson Fisk. Yes, he had the sunglasses on.
And he had the guy, the same assistant, Wesley, was in that movie too, which is a character I think that came up with Frank Miller. So I'm like, they were pulling stuff from the Frank Miller book.
Jack Colvin.
That's right, Jack Colvin. That's right.
Not Jack Callis. You're right.
I love that guy. Oh, there you go. B Things also had it. Very good, B Things.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
This was the Kingpin.
Yes,
in the Hulk
you need
movie.
You need to slick back your hair, exactly.
And he's got like a video game thing. He's got a thing with the wall, and at the end they fly out in some kind of like rocket car. Oh my god, it was so bad.
I remember all that.
And did you know the last episode was supposed to be the Black Widow?
Yes, I did.
But her name was Yasmin or something. They didn't call her Natasha.
I didn't remember. Oh, and I didn't remember that. Or maybe Yelena, like the White Widow.
Yelena, something. Because when he dies at the end, he falls from a helicopter. Whatever.
Yes.
And he's dying at the end, and he goes, I think he says Yasmin goes, I'm free.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, David, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, don't you understand? I'm free. And he dies.
And he dies.
And then they play the Lonely Man music.
Yeah, they do. They do. But he was supposed to be resurrected, and poor Bill Bixby passed away. But there was plans on bringing the Hulk back for another movie after that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Poor Bill Bixby. That was such a shame. He was always great.
Here's a
what?
Spiraling out. Elizabeth Grayson, who played Jasmine in the Death of the Hulk, she was the Raven in the Highlander series.
Wow.
And she had her own. She got her own series too after that.
Yeah, the spinoff, sure. The Raven spinoff, sure.
Yeah.
Canadian action television.
Did anyone ever see the Exo Man with Peter Ackroyd?
Yes.
Which was kind of like Iron Man, but it wasn't called Iron Man. It was called Exo Man. And he literally looked like kind of Bender from Futurama. He walked around like a round thing. Like, what the hell? I haven't seen that in years. I don't know if that's on
I don't either. That's a good question. Again, that's why it was fun revisiting Gargoyles a couple weeks ago.
Gargoyles is a classic. Then there's one with Robert Urich called Killdozer, which was a comic book as well.
I remember that.
Then there's one, I think Don Johnson, the Yeti is attacking a ski lodge. These are those ABC movies of the week. They would have them on like Sunday night or Thursday.
Yes.
And it's
just during the week. Yeah.
Benson stars in, Death in the Ski Lodge. And you're like, what?
There's a Bermuda Triangle movie with Doug McClure and Kim Novak and Alejandro Rey from Flying Nun.
Spooky as crap. I saw that as a kid, and it opens up with the abandoned boat, right? And it's just there, and and that weird music that they played on In Search of. That I got chills just thinking about it. It was on, and freaking Leonard Nimoy would be like, "Is a giant hulking creature stalking the Great Northwest?" Several hunters were attacked. What were they going to call it by a man?
I got a great email from
goosebumps.
I got a great email from a listener who heard me talking about a Peter Graves movie from a TV movie from the 70s where they're on a camping trip remotely and some weird phenomena happens that literally destroys almost the entire Earth. Yeah. And the people are like crystals, like in that one Star Trek original series episode. And he goes back home and they're like, Mom. And he runs up the stairs and he runs to his bedroom and all of his wife's clothes are out and the crystal is inside the clothes. And it's the saddest thing. And again, much like I mentioned earlier about Richard Chamberlain and Doug McClure and guys like that, Peter Graves, going back to the 50s right till the end, never had a problem being a genre guy. Loved that stuff. I met him in Orlando at a convention, and by Sunday, I'm like, "How you doing, Mr. Graves?" He's like, "Hi, John. How are you?" And I'm like, "This is great." But man, I've really appreciated his '50s movies a lot.
Who was in the Spectre? That was a Gene Roddenberry thing, right?
Yes, that was Robert Culp.
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp did Spectre.
Okay.
With Gig Young, yes. And it's like it's like Sherlock Holmes as a demon hunter, essentially.
Yeah, but then didn't Gig Young just?
Yeah,
and his girlfriend too.
Yeah. Yes, and he was like, honestly, you see him at the tail end of his career, and he looks unrecognizable. He is so haggard.
Is he the guy on the Twilight Zone with the guy goes back in time? Martin. He's on the Ferris wheel. That's Gig Young.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And earlier Doris Day movies in the late 50s, early 60s. He was a good-looking man. He was married to Elizabeth Montgomery, her first husband.
Oh.
And he used to hit her.
Oh.
Yeah.
F that guy.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad for him
it's
now.
sad because, I agree. It is sad because he made an Oscar-winning film just a year or two before Spectre. They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
Oh, yeah, I know that movie.
About the 1920s dance marathon.
Yeah.
And he's the MC. And if he didn't win the Oscar, he was definitely nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
I don't think he won.
All right, we'll have to go back and look, but maybe not today.
No, that's a good one too. And there's another one about witches with pinnacles, and it takes place in Connecticut, and I don't know the name of it. I saw it as a TV movie as a kid. I think it was called Witches. And I thought it had Robert Lansing, who was the guy from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, right? Or Richard
also
Baker.
Gary Seven. No. Robert Lansing is in 12 O'Clock High.
Yeah.
And he was Gary Seven in Assignment Earth on the original series.
Right.
And he was Control in The Equalizer in the 80s and was the intelligence officer that Edward Woodward was friends with.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. No, but this was
Great
some
actor.
movie about some guy. They moved to the Connecticut area, and they find a barn, and it's got what we call a pinnacle, which is these little round decorative graphic things on above a barn, but it's supposed to ward off witches. And there's a whole witches coven there. And at night I'm like, what is this? But it was like a TV movie on NBC. Never saw it again. Don't know if it's out there.
Travolta's in that Satan's School for
Daughters. Devil's Reign.
Maybe Devil's Reign, but I thought Satan's School for Daughters or for something.
He's in one with Loretta Swit and Fonda, where they're on the car. You remember that? They're on a car ride. And
Peter Fonda.
And
I know what you're talking about.
Motorcycle gang, they stumble across like a devil cult thing going on.
And they chase them.
Race with the Devil, I think it's called.
It is Race with the Devil.
I saw that at a drive-in theater. Jesus Christ, was that spooky.
Kate Jackson was in a movie.
I'm going to ruin how it ends. They all die because the cult catches up with them. So it's like.
What'd you have, Wayne?
Kate Jackson is in one of those witches
movies.
That's
That's the one I'm thinking of, and I thought Travolta was in that movie too.
Oh, Harrison Ford's in one about a witches thing, about spiders or something, and he's like
all these people early in their career made these weird. I just finished Tom Selleck's autobiography, and he talks about some of the schlock he made in the early.
Oh
70s.
yeah,
Go ahead, Wayne's onto something. Go ahead.
Okay, is it called Crowhaven Farm?
No.
What?
No,
the one I'm
Mitch's
talking about,
movie.
the witches. I thought it was called Witches, but maybe. Why? Who's the guy in it?
It's part of ABC Movie of the Week, aired in November 24th, 1970.
Could be.
1970. I was like 4, so I don't think I saw that.
That's interesting. Mike says regarding Mr. McGee, looks like Jack Coburn did teaching acting in the late 80s and 90s in the United States and Europe. B Things wants to know if the great Gene Roddenberry Genesis 2 is worth watching.
Yeah,
sure.
John Saxon, right?
Yes. Well, one is John Saxon, one is Alex Cord, and it's the same story with different or it's a continuation of the same story. They both play the same characters.
Oh,
yeah.
I only saw the John Saxon one. I don't.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one of the more memorable. Oh, it is the sequel with Alex Cord.
Is Alex Cord the guy from Airwolf that had the patch on his eye? Is that Alex Cord?
Yes.
I didn't remember him from Airwolf, but
Airwolf was great. Yeah.
Another great short mini series that I always talk about and tell everyone: Goliath Awaits, where there is a luxury liner like the Titanic that went down in the early days of World War II, and the crew and the passengers managed to survive. They created air bubbles and pockets, so a pocket of the luxury liner is still there. they farm seaweed and fish from the sea, so they're able to continue to live and everything.
Wow.
And this bathysphere discovers the boat, and they go down. It's from NCIS, main guy. Mark Harmon. Thank God I remember.
Oh, yeah.
So Alex Cord is the doctor on that. Mark Harmon is on it. Robert Forrester, pre-Jackie Brown, is on it.
Robert Forrester.
Emma Samms is the romantic lead.
Ooh, General Hospital.
And the bad guy is Christopher Lee, who is the most senior officer of the ship that survived. And his main henchman is Frank Gorshin, doing this fantastic Irish brogue. Oh, don't worry about the thing, Mr. McKenzie. I'll take care of him, Mr. McKenzie. Goliath awaits. It's on YouTube.
I don't know what that is.
I remember it as a kid going, this is so great.
Is this as a TV movie?
It was a TV miniseries. It was always on those independent channels in the 80s. It was the same, I think, wheel that gave us things later, like the Bandit TV movies and Knight Rider 2000.
I remember that. Yeah. What do you mean the Bandit? Like Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah. Yes.
They had movies with those?
Yeah. It was like the Bandit as a young man. It was like before.
Burt Reynolds wasn't involved.
And that's where the Hercules TV show came from. Those movies.
Kevin Sorbo and all that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Honestly, I look for schlock all the time like that.
What happened to that film company that made all those movies like The Legend of Boggy Creek? It was the Sun Pictures. Pictures Presents.
I don't know
Late 70s, every shitty movie was like Sun Pictures Presents Capricorn 1. Which, by the way, Capricorn 1 is a great movie, by the way.
Big fan.
And I don't know who made that one, but it's a good one.
I don't either, but Sun Pictures.
OJ's in it.
Oh, yeah. What? OJ,
Ellie Savalas.
I don't remember Ellie Savalas, but Ellie.
Oh, yeah, he's the crop duster guy with the airplane at the end.
I didn't remember that.
Hal Holbrook, Brolin's in it.
Hal Holbrook is the
James Brolin's in it.
Yeah, it's James Brolin, Sam Waterston, and OJ is the three astronauts.
And OJ the astronauts, yeah.
And Sam Waterston, how's this? Because this is how young he was. Sam Waterston's the comic relief in that movie.
He is, yeah. No, that's a great movie.
Brenda Vaccaro plays James Brolin's wife in that movie. I love
Cast 1,000. It's not as good as the Philadelphia Experiment. No. What's the one? Countdown.
Philadelphia Experiment.
No, the Final Countdown with Kirk Douglas.
Oh, I love that movie.
And Martin Sheen.
I love that movie.
Yeah. The Nimitz goes back to fight the Japanese.
Yes, just before Pearl Harbor.
Yes,
just before Pearl Harbor.
Fantastic. Yes, and they're in Pearl. They're in the harbor and everything. And we can stop this thing.
Mike Jones says Peter Hyams made a lot of good movies. Peter Hyams is a good director. He did
very good.
Blue Thunder, didn't he?
He might have done Blue Thunder. I know for sure he did Running Scared.
He did 2010.
2010.
And he did 2010.
That's what I was going to say. That's a good movie too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is for what it is. I mean, it's like you go from 2001 that everyone is asking a million questions, and it's like, 2010. This means this. That means that. This means this. Like no ambiguity whatsoever.
No, but it was a fun movie.
It's a fun.
Helen Mirren's in it, and John Lithgow, Bob Balaban,
Scheider, and the guy from Third Rock,
the guy that plays Mr. Diktovich in the Spider-Man movies. He's the Russian guy that gets taken away by.
He's fantastic.
Europa when they go to Europa.
But but the American that he goes out with, the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Lithgow, and like all three of them, Balaban, Lithgow, and Scheider are amazing. And Helen Mirren is the main woman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm deaf. So, all right.
Helen Mirren was hot when she was young. She was in Excalibur.
Yes, Morgan Le Fay. Yes, indeed.
Now, the guy Mike Jones just mentioned, Colossus, the Forbidden Project.
Yes, I'm glad this came up. I've been talking about this movie.
That's the stuff I'm talking about, that Kenneth Johnson or whoever owned the Hulk, they did that show, and they had all these expensive sets. So he repurposes them. It was called Colossus.
Because that was a theatrical release in 1970.
Yes, so he uses the sets. It's like a red space capsule, and they cut it up and they made a 2-part Hulk episode out of it. I think it's the one you're talking about where he gets stuck in mid-transformation. I think that's the one.
Could be.
It's like radiation from a meteor or something.
But as Mike Jones points out, and I've been saying this recently in the last few months, I don't understand in this current era of AI and the fears we have about AI, they could adapt this so easily, and it's such a reasonable amount of money. Colossus, and it would be great. And it's like Beneath the Planet of the Apes, does not have a happy ending.
No,
but it's the guy Victor from Young and the Restless. I can't think of his name now, but that's the guy, and he's also the Nazi in Rat Patrol.
He's also in the Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Yes, he's the doctor in Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Yes.
The guy of Mineo, Sal Mineo.
No, not the ape scientist.
Oh.
The human doctor.
Oh, Dr. Heinlein or whatever.
Yeah, this is a painting of a man making a painting. It's that
right.
Guy.
That guy.
Eric Braeden.
Eric Braeden. Thank you, Wayne. Indeed. And he's always been great. He's the lead in Colossus. He builds the supercomputer, and it's built to just be used for defensive purposes.
Yeah, no, I remember the movie.
And it takes over. And Susan Clark, Webster's mom, is the romantic interest in the movie. Yeah. But I love this. I found the movie. It's sitting on the Internet Archive, kids. If you dig hard, you can find it there.
You can find a lot of these things.
And it's funny because Wayne pulled up a Warner Archive DVD earlier. Thank God for George, and I forget George's last name. My buddy Rob Burnett knows him well, but the guy in charge of Warner Archives. That guy has revived so many television shows and lost films and cartoons, and has put them on DVD, and they are amazing. And thank God this guy's going, oh, you remember that James Garner show, Nichols? No. Well, it was only one season, and it's amazing. Here it is on DVD.
Warner Archive. That's how I got my Thundar the Barbarian. I bought those off of Warner Archives. Got them on disc.
What do you got, Wayne?
And they put out the 2-part, the Roast of the Superheroes and the Legend of the Superheroes.
Yes,
God.
Yes.
On Warner Archives. I have those. But they still have not released the Justice League pilot.
No. Yes. I tried to look for that the other day on YouTube. I could not find it. The one that has David Ogden Stiers as Martian Manhunter. I can't find it. I wanted to watch it again.
You can't. I know. It's hard. It's really hard to find.
It is hard to find. Yeah. I haven't looked on it. If it's going to be anywhere, because, obviously YouTube will have a movie on for 5 minutes and they'll yank it down. If it's going to be anywhere buried, it might be on the Internet Archive, archive.org.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've found a lot of orphaned television and film there in the last couple of years.
John's good with this. Now, explain to me. I remember them all, but I want to know which one was which.
Talk to me.
I'm going to say 3 different robot cop TV shows.
I know
one was with John Schuck, and was it with Ernie Borgnine?
No, those are 2 different shows.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. One of them was called Questar, or I'm thinking of
no. That's a third one. That's the Questar tapes.
Who played Haven? He was RoboCop. The name of the character was Haven. That was the robot cop.
Was that
John Schuck?
No. Borgnine, first of all, John Schuck show was a sitcom, and it was Holmes and Yo-Yo. That was the John Schuck show. The Ernest Borgnine show, I don't remember what the name of the robot was, but that was called Future Cop.
The name of the robot was Haven, because I remember thinking New Haven, where I was from. I was like,
and that was the Borgnine one with Future Cop, maybe?
I thought it had Michael Sarrazin in it, or somebody that, like a Nicholas Hammond.
Look up Future Cop, and then also
as we speak.
And
so Yo-Yo there was a comedy. That's what John Schuck.
That's the Yo-Yo was the comedy. Yes.
Okay, that's one.
Only 6 episodes. Go ahead.
Michael J. Shannon.
Oh, it's the Future Cop?
Michael Shannon, not that Shannon.
Yeah, Officer John Haven.
What now? Is Ernie Borgnine in that?
Yes.
Ernie Borgnine is Officer Joe
Cop.
Cleaver.
That's Future. That's
John Amos is Bill Bundy.
And Questar is from the Gene Roddenberry backdoor pilot, the Questar tapes, which again found on archive.org, and Robert Foxworth, Admiral whatever from the 2-part Deep Space Nine,
from Falcon Crest,
and from Falcon Crest, and Elizabeth Montgomery's last paramour, if not husband. And she was May December, and she's the December. Way to go, Liz. Young hot guy from the 80s.
She got young though. She was like in her 60s.
Oh yeah, but still like dynamite looking up until she got sick.
So so Questar Tapes was a TV show or a movie?
It was a movie, but it was a backdoor pilot, and it was Robert Foxworth as Questar, Mike Farrell from MASH, BJ.
That's right. Mike Farrell.
was the human that he helps Quest to become more human-like. But essentially, it's Data's grandfather because it's basically the template for Data.
It's Gene Roddenberry, isn't it?
It absolutely is Gene Roddenberry. Yes, it is. And it's a damn good.
I thought it was a TV series too. Are you sure it didn't do like a couple?
Nope.
No, it was just one and done.
Nope. Oh, and I forgot, as Mike says, first of all, Future Cop on DVD, and another great character actor on Future Cop, John Amos.
Yeah, John Amos.
So I
just swore there was another cop robot show, but besides,
are you confusing with Automan with Desi Arnaz Jr., where it was an AI that could construct a human?
That was in the 80s, though, right?
Yeah, 79, 80.
Yeah.
You know. Not that many years later.
All right, because I was there was a lot of science fiction shows. Remember the one with Andy Griffith when he built the rocket ship in the
Salvage
1. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a TV show for about a year.
And again, sorry everybody, another Star Trek connection. Harv Bennett of the Star Trek original cast movies. He made Salvage, and I just saw an interview with him and it's on the Television Academy archive of interviews. And he said, unfortunately, and the TV movie that made the series, is still absolutely worth watching. A junk man wants to salvage the moon for all the stuff they left up there, and he's going to build his own rocket. And he gets a washed-out astronaut and a fuel expert to build a rocket and stuff. It's fantastic for a TV movie. It's excellent. But he's like, the problem with the TV show was after you've been to the moon, where do you go from there?
Well, they would keep repurposing stuff from the TV movie. They're like, we're going to build a rocket again. I'm like,
they didn't build the rocket again. The rocket was reusable.
Yeah.
But mostly it was used like suborbital, like they wanted to bring an iceberg to help the drought issue in LA. I
remember that one. Yeah.
And there is one other space story where a shuttle crew gets in danger. So they fly to help the shuttle crew and stuff.
No, but I always remember the science on that show. This is what I'm telling you. TV was better back then. They taught us stuff because I remember him saying how NASA fires rockets straight up to go through the atmosphere, and it takes a lot of rocket power to propulsion. Right. And they were going to go up on an angle, and I always remember that gradually do that. And so when I see these, what was the Amazon guy? One of them had a plane thing, didn't he? Not the one that goes straight up and down. Was it SpaceX? Where it was like a rocket plane that went up and it touched the atmosphere. I was like, wait, I saw this on Salvage 1 when I was a kid. That's how. No, it was the other guy, the Virgin Atlantic guy, Branson. He was going up in his suborbit or whatever, but he was doing it off of an airplane and they shot it off and he went up diagonal.
Hey, let me be Gail King. Have you been to space? You're going to make fun of me? Have you been to space? I've been to space. Shut up. You were a passenger. You were not an astronaut.
He's basically on a big Six Flags ride. I mean, it's so
Katy Perry has had a rough couple of years, and I feel bad for her because she was acting weird on stage and had the blue cheer or whatever rocket thing.
Yeah,
and she's currently dating our ex-prime minister.
Yes.
Oh, is she now?
Yes.
I'm looking for him.
Hilarious.
And her ex-husband or boyfriend does conventions now for autographs.
Who's her ex-husband?
Orlando Bloom.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh God.
The guy from the Pirates.
I bet is he 6 figures? You don't have to give this specific, but is he to get him to come? I would think he's an A-lister. Mitch is quietly nodding his head. Yes, that's a lot of money. Sorry, Mitch. Again, I don't mean to.
No, I got the NDAs and stuff. I can't say anything. So anyway,
but
not that you're going to see him at my show because I'm not putting that money out there for that.
I get it. Do you want to tease anybody before we wrap up?
No. Oh, about who's coming to the show?
Yeah,
no, I don't know. No. John Stock is coming to the show. No,
it reminds me of when Pat. Oh God, what's his name? Pat O'Brien was on WKRP, and he's this rich general.
Pat O'Brien was on WKRP.
Yeah, it's one episode, and he plays a guy that was one of Jennifer's old man boyfriends, and she's the executor of the will. And he has all of his. They're showing a videotape of him after he's dead, like who he wants to give the money to. And he has one shiftless brother, and he's like, "You save any money, Edward?" No. Pat O'Brien is brilliantly funny in that episode. I'm telling you. So worth seeing, everybody. All right, there you go. As we leave Mitch doing his John Rhys Davies Kingpin.
That's my Elvis glasses.
Oh, sorry, man. How you doing, man? TCB, man. All right, we're going to go. Once again, Michael Caine, A Dialogue.
Well, what were we talking about? The Captain America movie. Yeah, go watch it, by the way.
Yes.
That's
I forgot. That's right.
what started this whole...
And once again here, it's in the chat, everybody, for the audio audience.
Non-linear.
But the rest of you, I will, again, because I think it's the top comment. There it is. Here's the website for the video audience. And for the audio audience, it's yippee-ki-yay-mothervideo.com. You will find it there and find a lot of other products as well. I recommend buying the director's cut of the 1990 Captain
I believe
America.
the man's widow gets a lot of the proceeds. So you're helping.
And they only have a couple of hundred left.
Oh, there you go.
All right, there you go. Get Terry Beatty, the wonderful cartoonist, is the guy that was raving about it first that I was aware of. And I immediately am like, all right, again, and he's like, if you're a Captain America fan, you'll love it. Mitch is a Captain America fan.
I am. I liked it. Yeah.
There you go. Wayne liked it.
I'm a comic book fan.
Oh, there you go.
And he's Canadian too, which is even weirder, man.
So yeah, there you go, everybody. All right, until next time, we'll hopefully have watched more new things as well to talk about. And this is something
let's watch 50-year-old shows.
Yeah. I'm happy to revisit old comic book movies with you guys. I think that's a great idea. Let's do that. Until next time, though, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.